Yo, what's up guys, Strokefish here, and today we are here for week number 1 of the Kraken Cup Season 2. Now, last time I gave you my team builder for, draft analysis for the entirety of my team, and now we're at week 1. I was going to do a separate team builder, but I decided to just go with it, and we're going to go into it. So, anyway, as your coach, Matt Nagy, I'm going to run down the roster that we got going into this week. We got Akeem, Deoxys D, with Iron Defense, Recover Spikes, and Seismic Toss. Now, I have enough defense. I pretty much put all of it into defense and HP, and then enough speed to outspeed Dracovish. So, if he outspeeds with Dracovish, he is Scarf. If he doesn't, he's likely going to be banned, and we can tell by the damage calc. So, that's going to be Akeem. I was originally running a weird set. I'm not going to really say, but I was kind of running a more offensive version, but I ended up running spikes and seismic toss because honestly, if this can get even one spike up, it's going to make the difference because just getting hazards up is so nice versus this team. So that's pretty much it. Iron Defense is really nice just to get a lot less damage output from things like Dracovish, Kartana. His team is, I'll actually show you his team. Well, I'll kind of say it out loud because it's Kartana, Dracovish, Victini, Dragonite, Mega Diancie, Zoroark, Guzzlord, what else is there? Yanmega. There's a lot of powerful stuff. But you'll see what he brings. Iron Defense is there for his physical attackers, and he really doesn't have that many special attackers. He has Raikou and Yanmega, but I have other ways to deal with that, so... Moving on, we have Passimian Choice Scarf. This is kind of like my revenge killer. Enough speed to speed tie Dragonite, and the rest in attack because that's really all I need. Defined because Receiver is like an unability, doesn't really do anything. Close Combat hits things like Miltank. Miltank is a really big threat versus my team because it's very bulky and can take a lot of hits from my breakers like Mega Aerodactyl and Dragapult. So Close Combat is nice for that, and then Earthquake is just some good stab coverage versus things like Victini, Raikou, and then Rock Slide's there for Dragonite, U-Turn for momentum. Next up, we have Torkoal with Earthquake, Stealth Rocks, Lava Plume, and Rapid Spin with the heavy-duty boots. This means that I can switch in on Rocks, which is nice. Kind of my check to Victini because I really can take hits all day long. I have enough attack investment to 2-hit KO Mega Diancie if it's not a minus defense nature. And then enough HP, I believe, to take, 4 V-Creates from I don't know if it's Choice Band. I think it's Choice Scarf Victini. Might be Choice Banded. Don't quote me on that. But that's why I'm running Shell Armor, because I do not want to give Victini any room for any of that. And we also have enough speed to live, I believe, 1 Earth Power from Mega Diancie if he is not modest. So Lava Plume's there for burns, hits Kartana, hits a lot of his team, nice for just burn spam. Stealth Rocks is really nice versus his team too because he really doesn't have that much hazard removal outside of Mega Diancie. And then Earthquake is there for just some good things versus Victini, Diancie, things that I would normally not like to face. So, and Rapid Spin, there to get rid of hazards too. Why I'm running Heavy Duty Boots, kind of my last ditch hazard remover. Next up, we have Mega Aerodactyl with a weird set. We have enough speed to outspeed a Choice Scarf Dragonite, so that's really nice, and then enough attack to pretty much, after my defense investment, which is to live 2 Scarf V-Creates, so I can switch in on it, and if I miss like a Stone Edge, I can bounce back, so it's kind of like a 2 chance to hit a Stone Edge, and then Roost and Taunt, because Taunt is nice for Miltank, shutting that down, and then Roost I can just heal up on Miltank, so it's super nice because Miltank is only really doing about like a third of my HP, which is a lot, but at the same time, it's better than I can Roost spam that, and he's wasting his Seismic Tosses, so Taunt is really nice for that, and he can't Toxic my rest of my team, so. Next we have my win con, which is Dragapult. We have enough speed. I really should have invested enough speed to outspeed a Scarf, Adamant Dracovish, but I didn't really think of that. I just did enough to outspeed a Raikou. I don't know why I didn't think of that. It's kind of really obvious, but Adamant max attack with Dragon Fang, Infiltrator, enough defense just because that's just where I put the rest of the EVs. I didn't really need HP because, I mean, Scrappy Miltank's a thing, but I liked defense for things like Sucker Punch on just taking hits better, like Leaf Blade on Kartana, switching into that. Just a lot of his physical attackers, like Victini, living V-Creates better. If he's banded, I think we can maybe live 1. I'm really only clicking Dragon Darts and Dragon Dance. The only two situations I'm clicking these two moves are Kartana for Flamethrower and Steel Wing for Mega Dancey, because it's a really good way to just revenge kill them if they're not, like, obviously if Kartana's Scarf, but... Dragon Darts hits the majority of his team after +1. The only thing that does not get O-Code is, I believe, his Miltank. So we have to get rid of Miltank. Once Miltank's out of the way, or weakened, we can Dragon Dance up and pretty much take it from there. So Dragapult is super nice this game. So yeah, that's pretty nice. And then last but not least, we have Celebi with a weird EV spread. The speed is there for Dragonite. The HP is there because I want bulk. And then I believe the special defense is to live... I want to say 2 Moonblasts. Might be something else. Might be 2 Moonblasts. The defense is there to not be to get KO'd by a Fish's Rend from a Adamant Choice Scarf. And then obviously if he's Choice Banded, I'll take less from Fish's Rend anyway. And then the rest in special attack because I want some special attack EVs. Leftovers is nice. Heal Bell is good for getting rid of status on things like Deoxys. Psychic is great for just straight attacking. I was going to run Giga Drain, but I thought Psychic was just nice in general, even though I don't get recovery. U-turn on dark types and just in general get momentum and then recover for passive, not even passive recovery, just straight recovery. So that's going to be all that is. Hopefully, that was kind of quick, but let's get into the battle. So he ends up bringing a very interesting team. I don't know if I... let me actually move this a little bit. There we go. So he brings I don't want to say interesting, but he doesn't bring Zoroark, which is really nice. He doesn't bring the On-Mega. So a lot of big threats here. Dragonite, Victini, Dracovish, Kartana, DNC, Miltank. I'm all scared of them. But, I mean, it was pretty predictable. I don't think he really brought anything that I didn't expect to come. I think he brought the best 6 he could. So, looking at his team, I really don't see much hazard control. He could bring Defog, Kartana, but that's really it. Like, he can bring, I guess, Defog, Dragonite. So if he leads Mega Diancie, that's fine, because I think just leading Deoxys is just my best lead in general. So I'm going to actually lead my Deoxys here, as he ends up leading with his Dracovish, which I think is interesting, because we do not take, like, anything from this thing. So I can really easily just go for Iron Defense. If he switches into something like Miltank immediately, I don't think he will, but if he does do that, or Diancie immediately, I can immediately start setting up Iron Defenses and, like, chipping that thing down, which means that I can set up spikes later. But he is actually going to go for the Leech Life. I assume he predicted it's kind of a good middle ground for Celebi, because if I switch in Celebi, I can take Fish's Rends. So Leech Life is kind of a good middle ground, but unfortunately, by this, I now know that he is a Scarf Dracovish, because I am invested out speed, Jolly Dracovish, so this thing is Scarf. So that's definitely good to know. It means that I'm a lot less susceptible to Dracovish. Well, I'm susceptible, but I can also deal with it a little better because the damage output's a little lower. So something like... it's probably its best set against my team, but I'm still good to know that knowledge, so I'm not, like, staying in versus, like, with Dragapult and then dying. So I get +2 defense. That's really nice, because now I can go for spikes now, because he really can't do anything to me. Even a crit Leech Life will not knock me out. So he's going to Leech Life again. He's going to do 15, and we're going to just start getting up our spikes. So we're in a really good spot now, because he can go Miltank, he can go DNC, whatever, and we still are guaranteed 2 layers of spikes here. So I go for another spike. We have 2 spikes up now. I don't know why it's not showing on the thing, but we have 2 spikes up. And I can get 3 layers of spikes now, because even if he Toxics me, I can go into Celebi after and Heal Bell. But unfortunately he misses, so I don't really think that much matters, but I would have probably made similar plays anyway. Kind of sucks though. But you'll see it kind of bites me later. So I guess it's not that big a deal. Or I guess it's justified, I guess. So we go into Celebi, because I know that he's going to Toxic here, and I can just natural cure that off. I could potentially Psychic up here to get some damage off on this thing, but I want to go for U-turn, and he goes Victini, and I have 2 spikes up, and he does not take any damage. So he's Heavy Duty Boots, which is a great relief to me, because he's not Scarf, which means that things like my Pissimian are a lot better. Aerodactyl doesn't really have to worry about that, but he also has to be careful. We have to be careful about making predictions around this thing because we know it's not locked. So I'm going to use her in here. Victini is pretty bad versus Torkoal, so I'm going to take this opportunity to beat up my rocks. As he U-turns, does very little damage, and he's going to go Dracovish, so he's going to take a good amount of damage from the spikes, and now we have rocks up, so we're going to go Celebi, because Celebi, even if he goes for Leech Life here, I'm not in a super precarious situation, because I can go into something like Dragapult after, actually no, because, if we go Dragapult after, I can Dragon Dance up, and he's in a really bad spot, like really, really bad spot. Because at that point, then, he's going to be in a bad spot. Because I can Dragon Dance up and pretty much sweep his team. Like, I don't want to say it, but, like, Dragon Dance at +2, I think everything dies. Meltank, I can Dragon Darts, and he would have to, he would pretty much have to Toxic and then try to, like, pull shenanigans, but, like, maybe with Kartana and DNC, which would be bad, but, like, also, I pretty much just weaken his entire team. But he'd have to make the right plays, so I'd be willing to take the risk. But he goes for Fish's Rend, so we take 43. Crit here would be really bad, so I'm just going to recover here because, obviously, he is faster than us, so we want to get as much HP as possible. We are recovering about 13% per turn, so we're getting up there. And I'm actually going to pull the Psychic here because I felt that it wasn't really a choke because, again, same idea. Dragapult was a good way of dealing with that, and I felt that it was Psychic would have been good damage, and then obviously would put him at a point where Dracovish can't switch in anymore. So Psychic was good. I felt that was a good play, and it breaks Dragonite's multi-scale. So I didn't want to let Dragonite in just for free because Dragonite is probably the biggest threat in his team right now. So at this point, I'm going to go into my Aerodactyl now. I could have gone Deoxys D, but I felt like going Aerodactyl was better because if he went for Dragon Dance, I can immediately just take him out from there. So I didn't really have to play around with any kind of hacks or anything. So unless I missed Stone Edge, but I can go Aerodactyl here and just take him out from there. I was expecting him to go, if he did attack and fuse like Choice Band Outrage, I believe I die, but at the same time I can go, he'd be locked in, so I can kind of just take him out from there with something like Dragapult. So if he's Choice Scarf, obviously, but he's not Choice Scarf. Actually, no, I U-turn because you see, actually, if he wanted to double, I guess. I forgot I was slower, but I just U-turned. As he goes for Ice Punch, and he gets the freeze. Now, this is kind of unfortunate because it means that Aerodactyl can't Revenge Kill. But it's also unfortunate for him because you'll see right here, I'm going to end up having to switch into Deoxys D. I probably should have gone this in the first place, but we actually kind of get blessed because he goes for Aqua Jet, which means that he would have been able to Revenge Kill us. I don't even know Dragonite gets Aqua Jet. I'm going to be completely honest. Like, I'm not even going to lie. I did not know. But he's going to go for Aqua Jet, and that does very little. But it also shows he's not Choice Band. Obviously, probably from that calc I could tell, but he's not like... he's not Life Orb. He's not any of that. So he's... Oh, wait. No, he's Heavy Duty Boots. I'm stupid. So he's Heavy Duty Boots on his Victini and his Dragonite. So we know that. Leftovers does Meltank and Dracovish's Scarf. So that's all we know so far. We're going to go into Deoxys D. Luckily... I say luckily our Aerodactyl got frozen because I can heal that off later. I was kind of mad. I was like, dang, that's really annoying. But I was like, wait, I have Heal Bell. Doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to go for, I believe, a Iron Defense here because it really... Actually, do I go for Iron Defense or do I go for Recover? I think I go for Iron Defense. I do. Okay. So I could have gone for Seismic Toss there, but I didn't want him going for Outrage and just 2-hit KOing me. So I'm going to go for Iron Defense, and then DNC is going to be in. I thought he might go for Moonblast, and Deoxys D is really good here. So I'm going to just kind of scout what this thing's set is, and I'm going to recover. But he's actually going to Calm Mind, so that's kind of bad. If he was Calm Mind Rock Polish, that would have been really bad. But I'm going to go Torkoal here because I can do a lot of this thing. and then Revenge Kill after with like Celebi or Passimian, depending on his set. But he's just going to go for Power Gem and knock out Torkoal. So that's super nice because I can get a free switch into my Dragapult, which means that I can just go and Steel Wing here, which is super nice. So we take out the NC. We don't miss. That's awesome. Nice about that. So cool. If we'd missed there, that would have sucked. We'd have gone Passimian. I don't know if that would have taken him out. Probably could have gone Passimian, but I didn't want to let in some like other Mon. But then again, I guess we didn't really need to worry about that because hazards are up. So he's going to go Meltank. Good, smart play. Going to go for Toxic, I believe, to whittle me down. Could have gone for Dragon Dance, honestly. Or Dragon, yeah. I could have gone for Dragon Dance, to be perfectly honest. But, oh well. I think I made the better play. So we're going to go Heal Bell here. We're going to kind of much get rid of his freeze. And I'm going to see how much Psychic does. It does a heck of a lot. So he's obviously Fizz Def. Psychic does 40%. Which is crazy damage, and he's going to go for Seismic Toss. So we're pretty much in the clear here because he really can't do much to me, and I can do a lot back. So Psychic's doing about 39%, and he's pretty much forced to Milk Drink. I can pretty much beat this 1v1 if I need to, because I can Heal Bell off. But I'm going to actually U-turn here. I don't know why I made this play. I think I just assumed, like, knowing at the point, like, I feel once it gets like perfunctory, which pretty much means like going through the motions, then I know he's probably gonna change it up because he knows that I'll probably play it safe. But I go for U-turn, mostly because it was probably the best play for me because if he stays in with Meltank, he'd probably go for Toxic again, so I can go into something like Passimian and then get like a close combat off, which would be nice because it pretty much guarantees a lot of damage on anything. So I'm going to U-turn here. I'm going to go into Aerodactyl because it pretty much forces him out, and I can get my Mega off. So I don't really need Aerodactyl at this point, to be honest. It's really nice for Dragonite, but I can beat Dragonite 1v1 with Deoxys and Dragapult as well, because unless he sets up Dragon Dance, then that's not going to be an issue. So I'm going to go for Stone Edge here. Not really too much to it. He's going to take a good amount from Kartana. But I'm going to go, I believe, into, Dio Defense, and he's going to do literally 40 with Leaf Blade, which is so little damage. That's so much. That's so little. That's actually crazy. So if he was banded, I can see what he locked himself into. If he locked himself into like Night Slash, I can go Passimian. But that looks more like Scarf damage. So I'm gonna recover here because I obviously have to. He can't kill me with a crit. He's gonna Shadow Ball, which I found was interesting. I guess he was trying to get chip damage before he went for Recreate. But I'm going to pretty much just recover because I assume that he would go for Recreate and then I can get the jump on him. But I'm going to go for Seismic Toss here because I realize that he's trying to chip me into Recreate range because he's probably mixed. So I'm going to just keep recovering at a certain point because now I know he's probably going to Recreate or he'll Shadow Ball again, hoping for... I pretty much... Another Shadow Ball would have put me in range. Or potentially put me in range of another Shadow Ball. So, recover there, because that's kind of what I have to do. And then he goes for Recreate, so now I can go for the Iron Defense and pretty much be set in taking those Recreate. So, he's going to U-turn, and nothing else on my team wants to deal with that. He's going to go Kartana, I assume, hope for a crit. Though, if he doesn't get it, there's really not much he can do. I was considering switching out into something like... I honestly thought he was going to go for Leaf Blade crit, but he has Night Slash, so he's going to go Night Slash, and I'm going to just recover that off. Probably could have gone Passimian here to not risk the crit, but at that point, I was like, Passimian was pretty much, not my win con, but I really felt I needed it for the end of the game, especially for Meltank. Like, I felt like that could be kind of annoying, because I was at a point with Aerodactyl where I could not live a Seismic Toss, so... I would need to get it pretty much at a point. The only way I could get Aerodactyl at a point is predicting a switch where he could roost. So and then he can just Revenge Kill Dragonite. So I'm going to keep Iron Defensing, kind of being risky here, but at this point, I don't think it really matters. His Kartana can't switch in anymore. He has no way to hazard support at this point because I assume he doesn't have Defog on Kartana, and if he does, he's probably locked in a Night Slash. So here I'm just going to take out Kartana with Seismic Toss. and now he's down to 4 Pokemon. And honestly, there's really not much he can do with any of his Pokemon other than Miltank and try to Toxic Stall me. But I'm going to just go into Deoxys. Or he's going to go to Dracovish. He's going to try to get as much damage as he can off, but it's really not going to matter. Unless he gets a ton of crits, it's really not going to make any difference. So Deoxys is really putting in the work here. Literally just tanking every single hit. Akeem Hicks taking out the offense here. And he's really putting in the work. So we take out Dracovish. And I think now he realizes he really can't do anything. And he's just going to try to hope for a freeze. I'm going to go for Seismic Toss. He's going to go for Ice Punch. He's hoping for the freeze. Doesn't get it first time. But what's funny is he actually gets it the next time. I don't know why the spikes just randomly appeared. Yeah, but he gets a freeze, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is, because pretty much Deoxys just kind of cleaned up this game. If I went for Seismic Toss here, would have been pretty much all 6 kills would have gone to... actually, would have been all... No, 5 kills would have gone to Deoxys defense. But I instead recover. I don't know why I recovered. Should have gone for Seismic Toss. I don't know why. Maybe I assumed something else. But I stall first turn, which is pretty much like I was never frozen. So I'm going to go Passimian. Try to get some damage off, but he goes for Toxic. Fine by me. Close combat is going to do good damage no matter what. Kills Dragonite. 2 kills Victini. I think we're in the spot where it pretty much doesn't matter. So Passimian gets a kill. Pretty cool. Chase Daniel getting points on the board for himself. Trubisky and Chase Daniel, 2 quarterbacks vying for top spot, but unfortunately Chase Daniel is the backup. So anyway, we're going to switch out because Victini obviously is going to not die to a close combat. So we're going to take that from Victini, and I'm going to recover here. Or no, Iron Defense. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it didn't really matter at this point. If he had crit me, then it wouldn't really have mattered because I could have just gone into Aerodactyl after. Or even, yeah, I guess Aerodactyl would probably be the better one. So he's going to go Miltank. We're going to Seismic Toss here. Oh, no, recover? No. You thought. We're going to Seismic Toss here. It's going to be able to take out Miltank. And we're going to be able to take out Victini because V-Crit doesn't crit. And even if it did, we would have been fine because the speed is dropped. So, yeah, that's going to be that. So, yeah, we take this game 5-0. Deoxys getting 4 kills. Trubisky getting 1. Dragapult. And then Chase Daniel getting 1, too. Passimian. So that was a pretty well-played game. I think Slacker had some great prep, and I think that we could have definitely played it better, but I think spike stacking was really nice for us. I think the kind of misplay on my part was going Aerodactyl. I really should have just gone Deoxys, because, I mean, while it was really nice to go versus his team, I didn't really need it. Like, if it died, it wasn't really that big a deal, because I could have gone, like, my other mons, like Dragapult. And I just really needed to whittle down Miltank, and after getting all the hazards up, that was really easy to do. So I thought I played it pretty well. I think Slacker definitely had a lot of... I think he was just kind of plays like me going for U-turn on the Victini, or Psychic on the Dragonite, just kind of getting those little plays right were kind of nice for that. And then I think not having hazard control kind of hurt him a little bit, but... Yeah, next week we're going against a really good player. Bruno has one of the best drafts in the league and was a finalist last season. Didn't win, but he did really well, and it's going to be exciting to face him. I don't know who's going to come out on top. I don't know really look at the matchup, but it's a tough team, so it'll be interesting to see. But I think the Chicago Bewears are going strong. 1-0 now, 5 differential, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. Matt Nagy, out.